Live whistling, and I'll plug in.
Hello. We're going live here, and I'm not seeing us on Facebook. Oh, going live. I don't know. It's a reminder. So yes, here we are once again going live, and hopefully you can see us on Facebook, because last time we couldn't, and then we had to try and sort it out at midnight and thought we'd sorted it out, but we hadn't done. So Marion, will you check if we are live on Facebook?
I will. Hello, I'm Marion.
So yeah, it's been such a hectic day. So I hope Selena is here watching today, joining us, because I have been gardening all day with Selena, which is amazing that as a result of our live stream videos, there are now people that are joining us and coming along and joining the gardens and getting involved with what we're doing. And
oh, is this as a result of this live streaming that we're doing? You're getting more gardener help?
Well, maybe, or my morning videos, but that's how she found me on videos, and she was watching the live stream. She
Excellent.
Yeah, so
we've got Selena, she's here. We've got Jack here, and we've got me and you.
And fantastic. And are we on Facebook?
From Facebook, that's where I've checked. But that's not the chat that we're getting at the moment. So I think the chat might be a YouTube chat. Let me go and look on YouTube.
Okay. But are we streaming to Facebook? This is the big thing.
Yes, we are streaming to Facebook.
Yes, we've done it. We've mastered, we've conquered technology.
Careful. We've got next week to do another one.
Oh, God. Well, we may be old. We may
be.
Speak
for yourself. I'm getting younger every day, darling.
Okay.
My telomeres are juicy.
Good, your telomeres are like that. I like that. So, welcome everybody who's here on the call. It's been such an incredibly hectic day, and but an amazing day, a really, really fulfilling day. And I spent a large part of the day gardening with a lovely, lovely little 8-year-old who's been so completely into doing the soil, working with the soil, planting. We've been planting sweet peas all day. We have planted 5 big patches of sweet peas, 5 big circles of sweet peas, and that's been fabulous. And then I rushed up here to make a video with Tarith to advertise a workshop that I'm doing with Tarith on the 8th of May. And Tarith is an amazing healer in Glastonbury who had a near-death experience when he was a little boy. And then when he came back from that near-death experience, had really remarkable powers. Ooh. It's really incredible. He manifests fragrant oil in the palm of his hands. It just comes.
Wow.
When he's doing his meditations. And so we're running this workshop the 8th of May, and he's hoping, I mean, we can't ever guarantee it's going to happen, but that's what happened to him after his near-death experience as an 8-year-old. And he's now 73, and he's been doing this healing work for years. And he's been saying to me for about the last 3 or 4 years, "Oh, Juliet, I would love to do a workshop with you." And I'm like in awe. Why does he want to do a workshop with me? But, you know, he's been quite persistent, like, "I really want to do that workshop with you." So now we've scheduled it for the 8th of May at Healing Waters. So we're going to combine his meditation skills and helping people to connect to source alongside the trauma work that I do, which is about regulating the nervous system and introducing people into the idea of the window of tolerance and how to manage the nervous system. So we'll just see how it works. So where are we? We're 5:05, and we've got a few guests today, Marion. Do you know that?
Ooh, it's a party.
It's a healing party. So I hope it works out. So this is the idea, everybody who's watching, is like, we would like you to join us. We would like you to join us and share with us what's happening for you in this moment in time, because I know, although we're kind of bouncing, although was it today or yesterday that they ended lockdown, or partial lockdown?
Monday was the first day the shops were open, because that's why I'm in this house where I am, because my sister-in-law works in a shopping area, and she went back to work on Monday. So I'm here looking after my niece who was on holiday, which is amazing. I've been with a 7-year-old all week. I love it.
Oh, wow. Wow. You know, I was in such a frantic state when we were trying to get this call together. I didn't even realise you were somewhere different, Marion. So, yeah. So, although that's all happening and like there's a buzz in the air and people are out in the streets and things, there is still an incredible amount of distress and stress with people being forced to be have things poked into them and toxins in their body and not being able to stand up against it. I mean, it's really quite horrifying what I'm witnessing at the moment. So I really want to support you, everyone here. It's like, what can you do? What can you do in the face of this rollout of things that's happening? And it's like this, like, okay, well, we're returning you to normal, but actually they're not. And I know you're really stressed, and it's really stressful supporting people and hearing their pain. And yeah, whilst at the same time, this incredible work with the gardens and the work that you're doing, Marion, and creating new economies for people, that we can really lift ourselves up independently. And hello from Periscope. Oh, it's Marion. You're talking to me from Periscope.
Yay! That's why I'm so quiet.
Wow. Wow.
So is Periscope the only message that's come up? Because so far I've done Twitter, I've done Periscope, I've done Facebook, and I've done YouTube, and about to go on LinkedIn and see if we're there as well. And we're on all of them so far. Fantastic.
If we're in LinkedIn as well. So we are a model to everybody who's watching. We are a model. You can all have a voice, and having your voice is so important at this point in time, because the status quo, the cabal, the Illuminati, or maybe I shouldn't say those.
The baddies.
The baddies. They're trying to put a mask over our faces and shut us down. And
trying to gag us, aren't they?
They're trying to gag us, and that together with the mind control and their conditioning. And so it's so important at this point in time, because we do have this technology and we can get our voices out there. Probably the only thing that stops us at this point is not feeling good enough, or feeling afraid to be seen, being afraid that we think any differently from what the social conditioning is, the massive mind
control.
Yeah, the trauma-based mind control that's going on. So yeah. You do have a voice, and it is 5:08, and we have this lovely guest who is called Paul, and he does have a surname, but I hope it's on surname.
Smith.
Paul Smith.
Yeah.
Is he really Paul Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because we've done a little bit of communicating before. Oh, we've got YouTube and Periscope coming up. Very good. Yeah, we've been communicating for quite a few weeks now, Paul and I, because we met on Facebook, and he's joined in with our abundance party as well, and trying to get him a unique ID was a bloody nightmare, because his name's Paul Smith.
Oh my God.
And so now I know he plays a guitar as well, and he's a music teacher. So he's we've got, I think, Paul Smith guitar player or something was his unique name that we came up with. But I also saw today he's invited me to an allotment, grow your own food party. Wow. And the other thing that I know about Paul is that he sells really good quality supplements and minerals and things to support us dietarily for our health and well-being as well. That's quite a good introduction for him, actually, isn't it? I just realised I did a really good job of introducing him.
Yeah, that's really brilliant. And he's here. I mean, he's the second courageous person who's decided to talk to these mad women that are trying to get their voices out on social media. So yes. Let's
bring him in, bring him on board.
Bring him in. So yes, this is amazing. We're going to do this. So here we go.
Hey,
it's
me. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm really honoured to be here. A little bit nervous because I've never done this before. I'm a complete virgin, I'm afraid, but Yeah, great.
Do you know tapping, Paul?
Tapping.
You go,
Oh, the
even
old,
though I'm really nervous.
I've seen Dr. McCullough do that before. Yeah, I've never tried it myself, but
magic. What it does is it relaxes the nervous system. That's Juliet's baby. That's what Juliet's all about.
I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, you can do it while you're on with us. You can do your collarbone points while you're talking now, and it'll relax the adrenals. So it starts to calm down.
We can all do it. Even that.
Go closer to the middle where your tie would be. There, that's it. And just say, even though I'm really nervous.
I feel like Tarzan now.
Yeah, great. So embody your Tarzan energy, and then Juliet will ask you some questions.
Yeah. So Paul, that's wonderful that you've joined us. What attracted you? What got your attention first of all about our videos?
Lots of things really. Just the freedom in which you talk about things, and we share the same ideas when it comes to health, to growing food, which is really important at the moment for people. All sorts of different things. I'm really heavily into health and nutrition now. I woke up to that about 15 years ago. I think it's part of the waking up process. You know, you suddenly realize that there's loads of crap in food, lots of carcinogenic substances that we need to avoid. And I got into it that way, and now I'm running a business selling supplements, most of which I make myself, and that's going pretty well. I'm usually a musician or a guitar teacher by trade, but as I'm sure you can imagine, the last year has been horrendous on that front. You know, I've lost about 80% of my business and my work, so I've had to, you know, sort of supplement my earnings with supplements, basically. So yeah, and there are four nutrients that I'm selling lots of nutrients at the moment, but there are four in particular that I'm finding through customer feedback that they're making a massive difference to people's lives, huge differences. Most of my customers at the moment tend to be women, many of which have autoimmune disorders. And it wasn't until I started doing this that I realized how rife autoimmune disorders are, particularly with women. It's just they're so common.
It's the things beginning with V that we mustn't mention the names of, because, you know, we're having this like, oh, they put it out that they're safe and people have them, and most people get away with thinking they're all right. But for everybody, they're damaging the immune system. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's something that kind of pushes things over the edge, the jab, if I'm allowed to say jab.
Yeah, we use that word a lot.
Yeah, so jabs are kind of pushing people's compromised health over the edge, if you like. I think the root to a lot of problems with health is people's compromised gut flora. You know, health starts in the gut. So if you're eating lots of processed foods, fast foods, and lots of stuff that really, you know, shouldn't be passing our lips, then you're compromising your gut health. And then things like, you know, the jab that you mentioned kind of pushes people over the edge.
Not just that jab, it's the fact that it's been rolled, that there's been hundreds of them.
Yes, sure, yeah.
Children over the last few generations have been given more and more and more, and every time you do it, you are damaging the immune system.
Yeah, definitely, totally.
I've had 2 diagnoses that were autoimmune based diagnoses, and both of them happened within 12 months of having a big long tropical holiday that was preceded by a set of jabs.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me at all. So I would just like to mention briefly 4 nutrients that can really help you out with this. I would probably, if I had to say which was the most important one, they're all important, but number 1 would probably be vitamin D3, which we've heard a fair bit about over the last year. But as I say, my customers have given me so much positive feedback. You know, if you're taking, if you buy vitamin D from the shops or from your average health food chain store, the chances are the dose of the vitamin D is going to be very low. It's not going to really make any difference to your health. So I sell vitamin D3. That's 5,000 international units a tablet. And it also comes with vitamin K2, which is really important that the two come together. So that would be my number one tip. Vitamin D. It's a sunshine nutrient. We all need it. If you're living in the UK, like the three of us are, then you're not getting enough sunshine throughout the year. It's impossible. You can't get enough vitamin D through food. It's extremely difficult to do it that way. So you've really got to supplement, especially
Right.
in
Challenge coming. How did our ancestors live if we don't get enough sunshine in the UK?
That's a very good question. And one, to be quite honest, I've never actually contemplated that idea before.
Good.
So
You can contemplate that.
Maybe
The
they were
thing is,
sneaking off on holidays.
Well, I appreciate that we were outside more, we were moving more, diets were different, soil was different, the industrialization was less. But it's like when you'll get this, you've seen me do it before. When I hear these sweeping statements that I go, hang on a minute, there's much more in this. This is something that needs to be unpacked a little bit. So to just be able to say there's not enough sunshine in the UK for us to survive as we are, that immediately rings a bell for me, because I'm the end of a long line of ancestry. So how the bloody hell did they all stick around?
Okay, but then I suppose it's possible that people that were living in tropical countries, hundreds, thousands of years ago,
not tropical.
Yeah, no. I was just thinking, maybe those people live longer because they had more sunshine.
The conspiracy theorists would then pop up the answer, which is because of geoengineering, we're not getting enough now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. That's true. So the skies have been affected, so there's less sunshine available. That's a possibility.
And Bill Gates is working on his new sun blocking technology, hasn't he? I hear.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. There's what is it? He's putting up there sulfur, some sort of sulfur dioxide. Is it? It's something like that. And
even water vapor, even just water vapor blocks it out, doesn't it? Because it's done in an artificial way. Well, another huge contributor is sunblock or sunscreen, if you like.
What you mean, like the sun creams that
for affecting our vitamin D? Yeah.
Yeah, and then also those things are highly toxic as well. The amount of chemicals they put in that stuff. And I believe I'm right in saying
you get it in your eye. Oh, you nearly die, don't you? When it goes in your, oh
definitely.
My God.
I think most people in the East, in Asia and places like that, they use coconut oil to block the sun.
Yeah.
It can be used as a screen and as a after sun treatment as well.
Yeah.
So.
A hat and some clothes with sleeves on.
I just want to pause a second. So what I'd like to hear, because we've just got a short time with you, Paul. What's affecting you at the moment? What's the most stressful thing going on around this whole fiasco?
Oh dear. I don't mean to make, the first thing that comes to my mind is I've not been able to get my hair cut for 6 months, which has been a right drag. But yeah, I mean, I've had issues with my family in the last year, definitely. My dad passed away last April with COVID. My nan passed away 2 weeks later with COVID.
Wow.
So it's obviously been a very emotional time family-wise. And now, because I'm awake or whatever, and I come from a family that are very kind of socialist, borderline communist, they follow everything that they're told to do, etc. So it's extremely hard to have any sort of relationship with my family members, and I try not to dwell on it too much because it's sad, but what can you do? You can't give up what you know is right. I can't go back to living in the matrix, if you like, and just sticking on a mask and being like the rest of them, because I know it's so profoundly wrong. It's horrific. So and that you can't break through to people, even in my family. I've had so many conversations. When I first woke up about 15, 20 years ago, the first thing I wanted to do was to wake people up that I love, and so I think I got a bit carried away, and conversations ended up as being arguments, and I was labelled the conspiracy theorist and all that jazz, and you just can't get through to I think what I've learned over the last year, I think, and it's not a nice thing to say, but it's looking very true, is that most people are herd animals, Most people go with the herd, and for some reason there are a few people like us that just no, we're not doing it, and it's not for us. You know, I mean, when it comes to health, I'm very much in charge of my own health. That's the way I see it.
Nice.
You know, unless I'm run over by a bus, I don't want anybody helping me. You know, I take full responsibility for my health, so that's why I've got 2 allotments. I grow all my own fruit and veg. I supplement with what I consider to be essential supplements like vitamin D, vitamin C. Magnesium is a very important one at the moment because when we're all stressed out, our bodies burn magnesium. That's how it reacts. So, and the magnesium, as you probably know, Juliet, is extremely low in the soil. It's been depleted in the soil with all the spraying and, you know, the agricultural farming and stuff. So,
yeah, that's right. So add some Epsom salts to your soil. It's
yeah, you can do that. Tomatoes love Epsom salts. I put Epsom salts in my bath, you know, so it's a great thing.
To water your garden with your bath water.
Well, I haven't tried that yet. I might do.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
I'm not so sure that would be a good thing.
No, it's great. It's all organic debris, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't think the soil likes it too salty, but anyway.
Paul, can I ask you? You said that your 2 relatives had died with COVID or from COVID.
My dad died with it. My dad's a long story, and I'll try and keep it as brief as I possibly can. He had Parkinson's disease for the last 10 years of his life. It was a type of Parkinson's that comes with dementia. So he was kind of on a very kind of a decline for 10 years. He then needed a stent fitted on his heart. About 2 years ago, after he had the operation, he couldn't stand anymore. He couldn't weight bear. He got moved into an old people's home. As soon as he got moved into the old people's home, there was a neurovirus, like a diarrhea thing going around in the home. So they shut down for a month, or lockdown, I should say, for a month. Nobody could visit anyone. And then the day after that lockdown was finished, the real lockdown came into place. So my dad was sitting in a room for months on end, no visitors. We can only talk to him via Skype, by which time he obviously would have had a vitamin D deficiency, a massive one. He developed a pressure sore from sitting down all the time. That led to sepsis, and they called it COVID. They called it the P word.
Yeah.
So he didn't die from this, what they call a virus, which they say is killing people. That's not what
I'm pretty sure on the certificate he said with the C word, the C word. Same as my nan. My nan was 95, so that was my dad's mum. She died a couple of weeks after, and she died with it. But she'd been in bed for a year. She was 95, so
those are people whose lives were sacrificed and added into the figures to say that this disease that's frightening everybody.
I saw a speech today made by Kamala Harris in America, in New York, and she was talking about, or she was trying to get people to go back to the hospitals where their relatives died at the start of the outbreak. And she was saying that they didn't really understand the C word properly. So the chances are their relatives did die of the C word, and they need to go back and change the death certificate. You can look that up. I saw it myself. So
she's very evil. She also supports full term abortion.
Yeah,
she's a very sick individual.
Very sad,
scary stuff.
Very, very, very scary.
But anyway, I would like to advocate to anyone that's watching or listening that you consider taking vitamin D3 in meaningful doses. 5,000 international units a day. You can take vitamin C, half a teaspoon of vitamin C twice a day. It's going to help you prevent the V words or whatever. Magnesium is really important for so many reasons. It's the most important mineral that we need for health. There are lots of symptoms that like leg cramps, menstrual cramps, anxiety, stress, migraines, headaches, insomnia. They're usually all magnesium related. So magnesium's massive at the moment, and you can't get enough of it from food. You just can't anymore. It's impossible. Unless you're growing your own food organically and eating fresh every day, you can't get enough magnesium. So, and iodine's the other one. Iodine's the other one. We all need iodine.
So yes. I do
There
my
we are.
eye painting every day.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you've just
Yeah.
reeled off mine and Juliet's daily routine.
Brilliant. Can I ask you, just out of interest, can I ask you, are you taking the iodine orally or are you applying it to your skin?
Paint, both paint it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the best method, I think, because I
Yeah,
think
because the
if
body
you're
only
drinking,
absorbs what it needs that way. That's our understanding
yeah,
of it.
exactly. I would agree.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So just to say that we've never met Paul before. Well, I haven't, but there's a few things in common. But anyway, we're not here to prescribe to anybody watching. If you do your own research, and I would just say, as a thing to steer away from the pharmaceutical industries and
Definitely the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
and to eat good healthy.
Industry.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would just add nutrients treat the cause of an illness without side effects. Pharmaceuticals treat the symptoms of an illness that cause side effects, and you'll require more drugs as a result. It's a multi-trillion-pound industry, isn't it? So
Yeah.
So just before you go, Paul, one last question. When you said you woke up a long time ago, what was it that caused you to?
I think I'd been somebody that was, you know, going to wake up. It was going to happen at some point. I'd always been interested in paranormal stuff. I'd always been interested in things like the JFK assassination, things like that. And I do believe, if I remember rightly, it was an American commentator that I got into a long time ago that really kind of woke me up. And a lot of people don't really like him, and that was Alex Jones. Do you know of Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
so he's a lot of people don't like him, as I say, but he kind of woke millions of people up overnight. That way. He really
Was it
did.
that film? Was it his film? What was the film he did?
I think he done Endgame was one of the films
Yeah.
he did that I saw, and
Yeah.
he did a film on 9/11.
Yeah.
But it was his radio show. I just listened to his radio show, and you know, he did 3 or 4 hours every night, and that kind of really accelerated my awakening.
He did a brilliant show last week, going through papers over the last 20 years that just script out what's happening at the moment. Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, it's an amazing show last week of his lives last week. Yeah, great stuff.
Cool, excellent.
Okay, so we are coming to the end. Have we got our next guest lined up, Marion?
I've got no idea, lovely. Do you think I'm the DJ, don't you?
Well, I'm just trusting in your technological skills.
Let's just see. Let me see. I don't know, where is she? Facebook. Let me go Facebook and look. I've got so many windows open with videos running. My poor computer's gonna die in a minute. All right, let's see. I've got one message. Oh yeah, it was really good of you to join us, Paul. Really
I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I would like to do it again if possible.
Yeah. Well, we're weekly at the moment, so if we increase the frequency, you might get on even quicker.
Hey.
Well, do share and
will do.
Put the word out and encourage other people. Like, start your own channels, start your own chats, and like, we all need to be talking. Why were they separating us? Why were they blocking our mouths and things? It's because when humans get together, then we start figuring out what's going on and like getting the truth out. So we need to be all speaking and sharing and communicating.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah. And if there's anyone that you know that has got a message to share, Paul, because your message is really important. It's lovely that we're actually doing what you're talking about as well. That's really nice, because it's not something that me and Juliet generally really discuss, is it? So it's great that you've come in with that. And if there's anyone else that you know, and I know because you're allotment mad, aren't you? So if your lovely lady is your allotment queen would like to join us and talk all things allotments, we love that as well.
I will ask her, definitely. I'll see what she says. We've been doing it for 3 or 4 years now, and we're still really amateurs playing at it, but we're getting better every year. So
yeah. Oh, nice.
Well, if you come to Glastonbury, come and visit the Healing Garden.
Oh, please, I'd love to go there. It looks amazing. I really would love to.
The gardens are just stunning.
Yeah,
honestly.
It looks it. I know. I'd love to come. Love to.
Cool. All right, lovely. So I can't find Brigitte, Juliet. I don't know where she's gone. It's not that I can't find Brigitte. Facebook's not talking to me.
Did you send her a message?
It did, yes.
Okay, well, oh, she's messaged me. Hang on, let me see. Yay, Brigitte. Ah,
Is she coming in? All right. Paul, if people are interested in what you do, where can they find out more about you?
Thank you. Yeah, my website is www.nutrientnirvana.co.uk. Nutrient Nirvana, one word.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and there's some blogs on there. I've written loads of blogs about stuff. I've got so much more to say about health and nutrition if you ask me back. But they can read up on my blogs.
Yeah.
We've got a few products on there, some of which I've mentioned. So yeah.
Cool. So I think what we're trying to do really is to get people to talk about how they're coping rather than what they do to, you know, as a sort of a sales or an advertising of what you do. It's how are you doing what you're doing. So actually, I mean, things like how you're building your business would be another lovely conversation, because a lot of people don't even realize it's possible to create a business of your own, and they feel stuck on the hamster wheel because they don't realize it's possible. So, you know, even sharing how that's doing it for you to be your own entrepreneur, your own, you know, businessman, if you like.
Yeah, I think
That
that's
sort
getting
of
very
stuff's really important. Yeah, because people need to know how to do that. We need to understand how to become sovereign, and you know, that's a really important message.
Well, like I say, when I had, I've had so much trouble with, you know, getting work as a guitarist, teaching and stuff because of what's been going on. I kind of had the option of, you know, sort of doing something for myself or going to work for Amazon or something. So I'd much rather be my own boss and just create my own path and try and help as many people as I can get their health
Absolutely.
back. You
know? And we still have to finish your Abundance Partey invitation.
Yeah, definitely.
So we need to get on that quite soon as well, because it's just amazing. It's even better than I thought it was.
Wow. Okay, good. I'm looking forward to that.
I got promoted.
Really? Brilliant. Well done.
They don't know what they've let themselves in for.
Okay. Well, thank you, Paul, for joining us today.
That's a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. I forgot I was nervous after a while, and I've really enjoyed talking to you.
It's just a chat, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah, it's lovely. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Cheers. Good luck. All the best.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
You have to kick leave, or we kick it out. I don't know.
I don't know what happens now.
So now we're waiting for Brigitte to come on, aren't we? Now we've got Zoe watching on Facebook. Zoe Senior. Not Facebook, on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube. So, and she's trying to post a question, but YouTube won't let her post her question.
This is Zoe.
Yeah. So she's been censored, and all she's trying to do is put a bloody question in the chat box. What's that about?
Well, she can't put a question. Zoe, would you like to come on and talk for a minute?
I did say to her she could message me privately, but I don't know where she's gone now. Is she still here? Are you still there, Zoe? Are you still watching? So what's your news, Juliet? What news do you have today? You've got some news you'd like to share, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, is Brigitte here?
No, she might not get here. She's having a bit of a hard time. So
with their signal?
Various things. So
she had Wi-Fi issues, didn't she, last week?
Yeah, she might. Yes. So yes, what news? What news? Well, I'm kind of excited because, as you know, on the advanced trauma training, we've been talking about trauma-based mind control, and we've been working on those issues, and how the government is rolling out mind control onto the population. We think it's just normal. We were talking about that previously, about you go into the supermarkets and over the tannoys, these messages and the markings on the windows and the things on the floor and all that stuff. We've talked about it quite a few times.
Yeah.
And how people don't even realise they're being conditioned. And it's been on for generations.
Yeah.
It's like really early, even like in schools. Do you know, when I went to visit my granddaughter last week, it was such a shock that she had a little doll, and the little doll had a little mask.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that horrific?
Wow. I was shopping with my 7-year-old niece today. We went shopping for Lego, but they haven't got any Lego in the shop we went to, so we bought Barbies instead. Barbies and a jumping rabbit.
So yeah, this conditioning goes on, right?
Terrible. Well, she said to me, "Oh, I forgot my mask," and I said, "Oh, very good." And she didn't know what to say. And she said, "Have you got one?" I said, "No, I've never worn one." "Oh, that's against the law, then," she said. She's only 7. I said, "No, it's not against the law." "It is." I said, No. People have told you it's against the law, but that's not the truth. You know, if people say that to you, could you ask them to show you the law? She said, "They'll shout at me."
Well, that's interesting, because I was outside the post office the other day, because you can't go into the post office. There's a queue out in the cold, and for old people like me, that's a bit arduous standing in the cold. And I was trying to push this woman in front of me to go in. It's like, because if she would go in, then I would.
You could have gone in.
I could have gone in, but I couldn't barge in front of her, because that's like a bit upsetting for her. And she said, no, I can't go in. I might get told off.
Yeah.
This is an adult woman. I might get told off.
Yeah. Exactly same as my 7-year-old niece. It's that same program still running.
Yeah.
The authority is here. The authority tells me what to do. And when the authority says jump, I say, how high?
Exactly. So, I put in the question, are you mind controlled? For people listening, are you mind controlled? Would you know if you're mind controlled even? You need to
I think it's where are you mind controlled is the better question, because we can't assume that we are not, because the matrix in front of our eyes that's been built has absolutely informed our perception of our reality. We don't I don't know if I've said this story before, but a client from a few years ago, I always like when I'm working with a client with healing work, especially pain relief, which is what this was, to find a place in your memory where you didn't have pain and you were in a place of joy and it was the best day ever. And this was a 70-year-old lady, and she told me the best day ever was the day that she got a fridge, and the first day she filled it so they couldn't fit anything else in it is the best day of her life. And I said, "Is that because you were a war baby?" And she said, No. Because I felt like I was a movie star, because in the movies, when they opened the fridge, it was always full.
Well, that's still conditioning, isn't it? I mean, the conditioning comes totally from the movies, Hollywood. It's like, you know, Disney.
Yeah, my granny thought she was Marlene Dietrich or someone, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, because my mother, every conceivable drawer or cupboard in the house, when you open it, it falls out. It's full of food. I thought it was because of the war. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Yeah, I was convinced that I'd got it right, and you're feeling a bit clever because you know something. And she come back with the whole movie thing. I was like, whoa, I did not expect that. Did not expect
that.
that.
Well, I mean, even Netflix, everybody, like all the young one. Well, I was watching Netflix for a while, but that's a whole, a whole nother place where they're conditioning us.
Yeah. And
Coronation Street.
Oh, don't.
I'm sure the Archers, if you're listening to the Archers, I used to them, but all the BBC, it's all conditioning. Everything, everywhere, every newspaper, every radio program, every TV show, the news is coming at you from all angles. So how do you ever know what reality is? Because you're just being spoon-fed constantly, drip-fed constantly. This reality about this, that there is something deathly dangerous out there that's going to kill you unless you do these crazy things like covering your faces. So I was listening to a very interesting interview with Kathy O'Brien, the Mel K show on BitChute. Kathy O'Brien. Well, Kathy O'Brien was a victim of MK Ultra for quite a few years. She came from the ancestral line of satanic ritual abuse, SR. They've got letters for it. What do you call that? Mnemonics?
SRA.
SRA, yes. So that's how they refer to them, satanic ritual abuse families, that it's ancestral.
Yeah.
This isn't just a random thing.
This is Rosemary's Baby incarnate, isn't it, really? I mean, there's no fiction about that film at all. That was a documentary, that film was.
Yeah, so when you mention satanic ritual abuse, people go, oh, no, that's conspiracy theory. That's absolutely not true, but it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. And I've been listening to quite a lot of things about that. And so on this interview, she was talking about how the governments are actually rolling this out through the psychologically profiling and behavioral insights team. Sorry, I'm just having a little block, a hitch. My brain cells are kind of slowing down. It's been a busy day. Yeah, so, I mean, she's really concerned about what's happening at the current time with all the jabs and the masks. She said when her daughter, because she was forced many times to be pregnant and then her babies were taken away from her and abused. And her one, she said she'd had 16 children or something and only one had survived.
Yeah. And
when they took that daughter from her, they would mask them. They'd mask the children. It was about submission. It was about,
Yes, disconnect you from your power, doesn't it? I mean, just completely disempowers you, pushes you into the mode of a victim. And as a little baby, you are a victim to your caregivers anyway.
Yeah,
so it's just this
children, like your little niece saying, "Where's your mask?"
Yeah,
I mean, it really is quite vile and horrific. And
well, she was shocked because she'd forgotten her own. That was the beginning of the conversation. So I was a bit shocked because I thought, it's like children aren't supposed to wear them anyway, even in the rules. It just doesn't make sense. But apparently that's not the truth. I just don't know the rules very well. I only know the ones I'm breaking.
It's insanity. It's psychosis. Who's this coming on now? I've got a little.
It's a Brigitte, because I just messaged her, sent her the link again.
Yay! Brigitte, you're here with us. That's amazing.
Well, I won't be here for long, but I'm here for a little while. I've just missed my lovely daughter. She was walking a dog, so I'll have to go soon. But it's lovely. And Marion, I got a big parcel today.
Good. I saw your message. You're very welcome, and we'll organise. It's no big deal. I am abundant at the moment, Brigitte, so I'm sharing the flow with you.
Wonderful. So just hold on. Let me just bring that screen open. Oh, what's going on? I'm cut.
Yeah, we just
see you perfectly. We can see you perfectly. So you're here, and you're simultaneously being live streamed to 4 different social media platforms. This is really big technology now.
I feel like the best filling in the most lovely sandwich.
Well, I can't see myself because I'm.
No, we can see you. We can see you.
We can
okay,
see
that's
you.
fine. Well, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit tired. I've been on a call for 2 hours with America, but it's okay. That's better.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how are you coping, Brigitte, at the moment? Oh, that video about did you see the musicians and dancing video in the train station in France? Whoa, I cried so much when I watched it the first time.
Yeah, and I danced.
Yeah, lovely.
I translated it, and now I've got to translate it for someone in Canada. So because I've done it now, I can share that.
Yes, you can.
People. And it's beautiful the way they said that, we are going to resist.
Yes.
And we keep on dancing.
Yes. This is the thing about media. Even social media is so censored that we live under this illusion that there aren't many of us saying no. That we live under the illusion that that's not happening. And yet there is so much amazing information. I'm kind of, if you were a great chess player and you're in a chess game, and you've won and there's still 20 moves to go before you whip the head off that queen. I'm in that place. I've got no idea how the winning is going to happen, but I absolutely have faith that it's done. Game over. We're still in the middle of the game, but the game is over. And I've got that feeling so strongly now.
Well, I have a really good feeling as things are shifting. It's that beautiful rainbow energy all around us. I can really feel it.
Yeah.
Might not see it, but I feel it.
Yeah.
So, well, people are waking up in France. You know, people are waking up. More people in England and in France are getting the injections more out of pressure, huge pressure, than because they want, or because they want. They don't really want to, but they can't take any more of the pressure.
Yeah.
So that's really going against the Code of Nuremberg, of course. But, you know, it's waking time.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to somebody today who said that this person works in the care system, and that she was being told that she had to wear a mask, and then she had to have psychotherapy because she didn't want to wear a mask. And now she's like, feels like she's about to lose her job because there's no way that she's going to have the jab, and that they're pushing for that. So
the good news is, Juliet, if she does lose her job, she can sue. She'll be much better off if they actually do take her job away from her.
Yeah, we're more and more
really
people,
good news in that. Yeah,
very good news, and more people are going to do that. I know a lot of people who are going to do that. I've got people in the guest house right now in France who couldn't take the confinement in their flat in Paris with a little 20-month-old little girl. So they're in the guest house. I've given them a tremendous deal. I didn't make any money, but at least it's paid the window of my car.
Nice.
And it will pay the new gate for the guest house to be safe. But the great thing is, I could talk to her, although she was totally in cognitive frozen dissonance. And yes, but she still did listen. And I said, I hope you're not going to have the injections, because she was saying that she might have said, I hope you're not going to, because it's totally toxic. And she said, well, I really would love to go back to normal. I said, there is no normal. It's not about going back to normal. That's a whole, you know, I'm not going to use the English word, but it's such a...
It's a program, isn't it?
Such a lie. Yes. But the thing is, it's getting worse and worse because people are not waking up.
Yeah.
People are really very deeply deprogrammed.
Well, I don't know if it's not that they're not. It's that it's so difficult to share when you are. I think that's more important to understand right now. Yeah. There are many, many people who are awake and enlightened in this situation. And yet the ability to inform is what's been censored, what's been blocked.
Yes.
And the other propaganda is so liberally spread. So it's so liberal. It does make it look less, but I don't believe that's the truth. I don't.
No, that is not the truth. I agree. And I'm putting more and more information even on Facebook. Yeah. I'm starting to redo videos. I'm going to go on doing them and then adding them to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it really matters. But even getting my vegetables, I've got Emmeline who sells a vegetable, grows them just down the road. And a few of us don't wear masks, but most of the people are still wearing masks. We're not in a shop, we're outside. So there's still so much stigmatization.
Yeah.
And still that sort of obedience.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time, you know.
Yeah.
It really is.
And it's really shocking for people, isn't it, as well? The people who have followed the rules and have done as they're told.
Yeah.
When it becomes apparent that that was the wrong thing to do, the humiliation, the feeling stupid, the feeling betrayed, that in itself will block people wanting to even accept the truth.
Yeah. But that's worse. I mean, the cognitive dissonance that you always make up a reason why everything's all right, and it's like we're having people dying around us now because of these jabs, and people are making up reasons. Oh well, it's because they've got the other thing that's killing them anyway, and like that, and that's the mainstream narrative. Even though there are now thousands and thousands and thousands of people with really serious side effects, being paralyzed or blinded. And thousands of people die, and they're still making up this narrative because the government narrative is like, oh well, you can't you can't say that the jab has caused that, because it's just association and there's no proof of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're not allowing any post-mortems.
Yeah.
I know, but
So
my sense is postmortems on any of the so-called, let's call them injections because they're not vaccines, that experimentations with nanoparticles, when you have got a USB key into your central DNA as an organic body, I'm not sure that they would be able to find that under a postmortem, because postmortems is looking for organic.
Well, I don't know. Dolores Cahill says that you can spot it. So
you can spot it. All right.
I would recommend going to Dolores Cahill, and just to say that we have 9 minutes left of this call.
Oh, good God! You've already been on it for a long time, then.
Yeah. So I wanted to add that today I saw something from an insurance company that insurance companies, or at least this one, absolutely will not give life insurance cover to anyone that's been jabbed. What does that tell you?
Oh, wow, that's a shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
Already, they're not going to insure people who die of COVID.
They've said it all along, Brigitte, because it is experimental, and because the only reason they can give it is because they've got us under, whatever the thing is that locks us inside, an emergency situation. But the insurance people are going, no, can't insure that. We cannot insure that. It's completely outside of our jurisdiction to insure that. And they've said it from day one, but it's never been allowed again to be stated as news in the official media.
Okay, so anyone listening to this that is about to get jabbed, know that you will never be able to have life insurance cover.
Yeah, and you're avoiding it. You are avoiding the current one you've got if you're doing it.
Yes, and that's a very important point for all of those who have taken a life insurance.
Yeah.
And another thing, a lot of people, well, those I know, are taking that jab under tremendous pressure. So my sense is that jab might not have such a huge impact on their body and their soul because they have not given their consent freely.
Well, that's coercion, isn't it? It's complete coercion, and it's completely illegal.
But because of the soul, we have got the law of the universe. You cannot breach that. And that's being breached. So all the laws, the law of the universe, the divine law, if we believe there is a source and a divine law, then that's being breached mega big time. So my feeling is that's not going to go down very well, So my dearest, I love you and leave you.
Oh,
it's short.
So good to have you.
And I've got to go and talk to my lovely Easy.
Oh, nice.
Who has absolutely refused to have any injections and was standing in between others who are putting huge pressure.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's your daughter, huh?
And it's fascinating, the pressure that's being put right now. It's mental pressure. I realized I've got teeth issues. I've never had tooth issues like I'm having now. And it's because my system is too acid. And it's too acid because of the stress I am under.
Yes.
And the acidity now is in my mouth, in my saliva, and it's starting to give me issues with my teeth.
Charcoal, activated charcoal.
Okay, I'll look for that. So, but it's just to say, more and more people are having dental problems with the masks, let alone chest problem. And ivermectin. My doctor now prescribes ivermectin, which is the same, which is wonderful for any virus infection. So, and you can get it online too. So don't go for the jab. Go for beautiful, happy, and there are plans. So have a wonderful immune system. And I hope that Sue can give me some insights as to how to deal with this beautiful parcel that arrived. I thought it was Matthew's parcel.
Oh.
From China, but I didn't see it. Came from England.
So pleased it came so quickly.
Oh, I'm so glad. So you're in the show, everyone. So bless you. And you'll have to teach me all about this. How do I get out of here now?
It's got leave. It says leave up there somewhere.
But I'm just going to click this now. So bye, Brigitte. Thank you so much.
Bye, darling. I don't know how to leave.
Yeah, bye. Bye.
I'm going to throw her out.
Two-pot
60 saying C60 and magnesium. What's C60? Do you know what that is?
Charcoal?
Maybe. I don't know. So Teapot Pixie, tell us what C60 is, please.
That rhymes. I do want to tell you about the books. We've got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, go on, talk about your books.
Whilst Teapot Pixie is telling us what C60 is. So
yeah.
Kathy O'Brien, yes, she says that even from the most awful mind control, and what was done to her was totally horrific, where she was very, very badly abused, and like her mind split into different parts, that she had no access to those other parts. And when her mind was split into those parts, signals would, like sounds or code words, and that would triggers to get her to do all sorts of horrific things. But luckily that she didn't then pass on the satanic ritual abuse generationally, because something in her at a soul level or something stopped her doing that.
Yeah.
But she met this man, Mark, that helped her to heal. And together they wrote this book, and it's probably back to front. I don't know.
No, it's not actually. I can see PTSD. Brilliant. Time to heal.
So she said, one of the things that can help you to heal and to bring back the different parts, fragments together, is to write, handwriting, to write your memories down.
Yeah, because it's cohesive, isn't it? There's a coherent flow when you're writing.
That's right, and it's linking the left and the right sides of the brain.
Nice.
And it's bringing back, it's breaking down the barriers and bringing things back. So she is very clear that we can heal from even the most serious abuse. So there's that book of hers, would recommend it, and it's going to be on my curriculum for the advanced trauma skills training.
Is it in an audio book then?
You don't like reading.
I hate reading.
That one. And then there's this one, Transformation of America. How do you get that?
Yeah, there you go.
Other one. So Kathy O'Brien would recommend these books, reading these books. And she's
such an amazing story that she's got, isn't it? She's such a beautiful soul. And it's lovely because that whole thing with the Mark guy, it was just love. She healed because he just loved her.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so just talking about all the children that have been captured and held, even right at this moment, thousands of children, children captured and held underground.
Yeah. And the whole thing at the border in America.
Yeah, that's awful.
Children being awful. Anyway, on a brighter note, Teapot Pixie said, yeah, we were right. It's charcoal. Well done, Juliet.
Hey, okay.
You passed the exam.
So T60 is a particular kind of charcoal? Or is it activated charcoal?
Maybe. We do activated charcoal, don't we? We like a spoonful before, or half a spoon before bed in a glass of water.
Yeah, that's right.
And I like it because it's gritty and it reminds me of being on the beach. It's gritty in your teeth. I really like it.
Yeah, and you don't want to have it in the day because it gives you black teeth and then it frightens everybody.
But it clings on to things and gets rid of them. So if you've got nice nutrients you've just digested, you don't want it to cling on and take them away.
No, so it's for detoxing, and detoxing is really, really important.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of health is just detoxing, and we have to finish because it's night. Oh my God. Okay. Lots of love to everybody. See you next week. Do come next week. Share this video, all that kind of stuff. Bye.